You know, I just recently experienced something and it caused me to see myself through a different lens. You know, I actually lumped myself in with bullies because of why I felt so hurt and betrayed, and I was so traumatized by, a series of events that have happened over the last 7 months, shit like that, right? It just finally all just built up and beat me down. Had me acting like somebody that I'm not, because, well, even if somebody is like that, I'm not going to respond like that. I'll just go, I'm not going to fight and say mean shit and try to conform the person to be something that they don't want to be. I mean, because ultimately choices are choices. You choose that you want to do this or you choose that you want to do that, And sometimes when you make a choice, you choose to relinquish something else. You see what I'm saying? You're going to give up something to get what you choose instead, you see? For those of us who have been cheated on, we know what it's like to be the one that they relinquished. They just gave you up, said, fuck you, I'm just going to go fuck this person, you see? So yeah, that can kind of build up on a motherfucker, man. Especially when you're big cock fucking golden god like me, yo. Fucking had women fucking goddamn taking care of you, loving you, building you up like a god in the eyes of everyone they talk to. Cute little smile on their face when they talk about you. Always telling a funny story about you, you see? And these are from women that'll tell you that they hate you. You see? So yeah, you spend fucking 30 years with that, and then fucking goddamn, you're fucking being assaulted, and you're being assaulted with the little man bullets and shit. You're a little man, pow, 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 pow. You're littler than this guy, pow, 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 pow. This guy's bigger than you, pow, 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 pow. And you just keep getting shot with that shit, right? It's like, wow, where's this shit coming from? Fucking stupid land or something? So yeah, I watched a bunch of bullies with badges converge on my wife, take my phone, want to bully me too, over some words that I said to my wife. Our communication is private, okay? That's the thing. What I say to my wife is private, all right? We ain't talking about no crime. There's the whole reason why I sent a drunken email to the cop is because, well, we didn't want to pursue it. We proved what we want to do, we want to pursue it. We come to the police station. He took it upon himself to come here. He came in and led my wife out like, a little concubine and shit. Fucking, she didn't like that because, well, that's what happened to her with the rapist, supposedly, right? I mean, if her story's true, which, it could be, they're just going to grab her and lead her away from me, lead her off somewhere to go do something, right? And he takes her to the car so that he's got cameras rolling so he can record everything she says. It's another thing, that she doesn't understand about this whole process and what's happening is that, the police and the government have gotten where if you waste their time or their resources or you lie to them, you have them pursue a matter that's not real, or file false charges against somebody, they'll criminalize you for that shit. They got empty jail cells because of the COVID shit, yo. So they're more than happy to pack fucking, otherwise law-abiding citizens into some shit, right? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you may want to drop a case or say some shit didn't happen later. I mean, there's a whole lot of reasons why a woman may decide to do this. The very process itself is, it's like being raped again. I mean, if you ever watch what a woman has to go through after being raped just to bring justice down upon her assailants, you can see, wow, that's a whole nother form of rape. They're taking your time, they're making you talk about the shit, and they're intruding on your body. They're making you get naked and stand and dance and get combed out on a sheet of paper. They're putting Q-tips up in your vagina and your butt and in your ears, down your throat and up your nose. It's like, all right, yeah, it's kind of intrusive. It's like, being gangbanged by a bunch of little Q-tip dick chimpanzees or something. Just, you remember, y'all ain't gonna remember this, Richard Pryor, one of his stage shows. I heard the concert many times. I used to listen to it over and over. The one about the squirrel monkeys. You see, and his neighbor had squirrel monkeys that would crawl up into his place and jump on his head and fuck him in his ear. When he imitated these squirrel monkeys fucking him in his ear. It's like, he sounded so funny. And then it's like, shit felt like a wet Q-tip. So anyway, motherfucker, he was talking about the big dog that's eating squirrel monkeys and shit. And he was talking to the big dog, and you know, the squirrel monkeys are dead because when the squirrel monkeys died or some shit. And the dog's like, damn, I was going to eat them too. I'm trying to bring a little bit of lightheartedness to this fucking heavy fucking thing, man. Because, well, it is really heavy. You know, I just headed to the store. It's a good thing I physically can't make it right now because it started raining. I guess I could walk in this little light mist. That's not the point. But, okay, so yesterday, the police converged on my wife. I was standing there watching, and I filmed it even. You know, they just took my phone, and they're standing there yelling at her and bitching at her because she didn't want to go to Roscommon for the exam in the first place. She didn't want to go to the hospital in the first place. She didn't want to go out and talk to the cop in the first place. So if I just could have thought of what the day would turn into, I wouldn't even answer the door. When the buzzer rang, I would have just let it ring. If I had known it was him, I probably would have let it ring because I didn't feel like fucking with that shit anyway. I just went to bed after like 3 days of sleeplessness, you see? Because, well, you know, windmill, fairyland. You know, motherland is what the lyric is. That really bothered me, that this guy's going to just grab my wife and take her outside to his car to talk to her and shit. And then after talking to her for a while she's half a fucking sleep, he just pulled her out of bed. She can't even wrap her mind around thought yet, you know? He wants to immediately turn this into a case and pursue it as a charge, right? Just, you know, after talking to her for 20 minutes, a half hour in the car with her half asleep, okay? And what she's describing happened is a dream, okay? So then, okay, he comes in, he wants to take her to the hospital, but he don't want me to go. Well, he already creeped her out. I could see the look on her face. It's like, I don't want to go with this guy, you know? You see, I kind of can read my wife's facial expressions, so I kind of know. And I knew she didn't want to go to the hospital. She didn't want to fuck with this shit yesterday at all, you know? If he could have waited a day or two, she probably would have been like, I don't need to talk to you about it because it was just a dream, and we finally figured it out. You see? And at this point, even if we thought it really happened, I think, you know, the best thing to do is just say it was a dream. I mean, you know, we do really think it was a dream. But even if we knew it wasn't, right? I mean, think about that. The best course of action to take at this point is just to back the fuck off. And because the police, man, they can be turned against you real quick. And all you got to do is stand up for your rights. She had the right not to go down to Roscommon. He wanted to take her by himself. See? She had the right not to go. She had the right not to go say stuff and have Q-tips put in her and all this other stuff. She had the right to wait. That's her right. They can't force her to fucking let them do shit to her. That's like fucking the goddamn rapist, supposedly, right? I mean, if they raped her, they're forcing her to do something she don't want to do. They're forcing their will upon her. What we want you to do, that's what you're going to do. You see? That's something you do to children and retarded people. Retarded people let you get away with it too, I guess. You see? Children less so now because, well, children are little monsters. And, you know, just if some of these older retarded people would just get half the meanness in them that these little children got, it's like, you know, fuck you, mister. I ain't doing shit you say. You see? Stranger danger. You know? It's like, damn, you know? Half this shit wouldn't happen in the world. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he grabs my phone. He gets out of the car. And he, like, she had opened the door for me. And he's like, I didn't tell you to do that. And fucking almost like pushes her to, go over there to that car over there. Or there's like a state police car and another city cop, you know, standing there, right? Then he opens the door. I'm seizing your phone. Give me your phone. I think that you're impeding my investigation. Well, dickhead, it's not an investigation yet. Nobody filed a fucking police report. Nobody went to the police station and said, I want to report a rape. You got an email from a drunk motherfucker, and you wanted to fucking goddamn go ahead and fucking goddamn do something. Well, you ain't did nothing about the last shit. Oh, you You just magically 3 months later get the idea to seize a phone? Well, why didn't you think to seize Cody's phone, like, I don't know, when you got told about this shit?
Exactly.
Because I implied you need to take his phone and see if there ain't some videos in it or some kind of communication that he hasn't deleted yet. I mean, just to ascertain if she did shit willingly. You see? Because if she did it willingly, you don't pursue rape charges on somebody who just showed up at a gangbang. That's not right, yo. You see? So then, well, you know, I'm just trying to figure out where does the complicity lie? Where does the blame lie? Where does the guilt lie? If it lies with her, then it's something she and I have to work out. If they did really fucking goddamn do some shit like she said, then that's something that has to be dealt with, you know, on a legal. You know, justice has to be served. You see what I'm saying? So that's where, you know, justice not getting served is eating at me, you know, for months and months. I'm going with my wife to the store because the police are running around fumbling the ball, bent over looking at each other's butt cracks and shit instead of fucking goddamn getting the motherfucking rapist locked up. Didn't go get this guy's phone. I implied that fucking there's a reason to go get his phone. I told him when he was doing this shit with her, she said he left the lights on. So that means he was filming it. Probably not with his phone, probably with little cubes, you see? Because, well, they can be anywhere, and if the place is cluttered at all, you won't notice them. You can get a few different angles, have a few of them running. So we know we're in a rape culture, you know, and we know we're in a bully culture, you know, where people are getting off on bullying children, animals, you know, mentally challenged people. People are getting off on seeing it, you see? It's like the mentality of the masses has been completely dumbed down, where, you know, on a mass scale, people have gotten so stupid that they're entertained by violence. They would take a beautiful thing like sex and destroy it with rape and adultery. You see? Because you know adultery destroys rape, or destroys sex. You see? And sex is supposed to be a beautiful thing. But then when you end up with somebody that to commit adultery on you, well, then sex becomes really ugly. It's ugly between you and that person. And for a long time, it takes a while to build up your confidence in yourself, of your sexual prowess. I mean, if you end up with somebody broken enough to cheat on you, it can break you. All right? I mean, you'll literally start feeling broken because they're broken and they can't fucking goddamn be faithful. So then you start trying to find what the problem is with you. You know, is my dick not big enough? Did I not eat that pussy right? You know, it's like, does she need my fist? You know, do I need to bring a few other dudes over to fuck her every time we fuck? I don't know, man. How come, you know? You see what I'm saying? How come this happened? How come this happened? How come this happened? It's always in your head. How come this happened? How? Why? You're hearing why a trillion times in a minute, you know? Why? There's this little thing in your head that just wants to find out why, so that you can fix it for the next person. Because, well, you're not going to fix it for that person. It wouldn't tell you, okay, here's why I need to go fuck all these other people. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, maybe they can't tell you because it's not something to do with you. It's nothing you can fix. It's something in them. You see? So then it's futile to wonder why. All right? You ain't going to know why. You ain't going to know what happened to cause, you know, the mentality that they would do that. See, I've been going through all this trauma and all this, like, just my mind fucking exploding with, you know, all these different angles and directions. Stuff I shouldn't even really be thinking about at this point in my life. I'm reaching the end of it, and I wanted to, like, get on top of the mountain before I jumped off the world, right? Because, well, I am battling for my health, man. And the battle has been super hard, you know, since, like, October. I mean, I've just been fighting for it. And I don't ever have normal blood pressure numbers anymore that just stay consistent. You know, like 2-3 days in a row, they're down there, they're good. I keep having these spikes. Well, you know, we came back. First, I walked over to Lisa's while the cops were bullying my wife because I couldn't stand to see it. And I couldn't count on myself not to go over there and get in their faces about it. So it's like I just took my dog and walked. I just didn't want no more bullshit. Guy already took my phone. He already told me he's going to try and make a criminal out of me for texting my wife that she has the right to go home. She wanted to go home. She didn't want to go with him. She didn't want to say shit to him that day. You see? Pull her out of bed. She ain't ate breakfast yet. She was up all night. She ain't ate breakfast yet. You're going to pull her out of bed and pull her into this bullshit. She can't even talk to you. Her fucking goddamn interview is null and fucking void because she was half asleep. So half the shit she said ain't nothing. Do you know before Amber wakes up an hour later, she don't know what the fuck she's saying? You can ask her questions. She'll give you the first answer that comes to her head just because, well, she's still half asleep. And the first answer is usually the wrong answer with people like Amber. They have to find the right answer. You know, like you and me, if we're going to tell the truth, if we're truthful and somebody asks you, the truth just makes you quick-witted. So the truth just jumps in your head because that's what you're going to say, right? So it just jumps there and you say it. But when you've been living, you know, differently where, you know, you're convoluting reality to try and get away with shit that you shouldn't be doing anyway. You see what I'm saying? It's like, well, then your brain don't work as fast. Lies slow your mentality down. They actually make you stupid. You see, that's why so many liars become so fucking stupid. You see, and they do stupid shit. I mean, you see them lying, you know, 1 year about some shit, and then it's like, you know, a year later, they're lying about a whole bunch of other shit. I mean, they even went, you know, full-blown retard and shit. I just seen that in a movie where they're making a movie about motherfuckers who were in Vietnam, who wrote a book that was a fairy tale, but people think it's a true story. So, I mean, I've been smoking a lot. I was drinking a lot, but, you know, my wife being traumatized by those who were supposed to protect and serve her. I mean, they're supposed to have people who can professionally deal with people like her, right? And who can, like, okay, I'm right there. I know her, and I know what her problems are. I know she's scared of police, especially male police. So why don't you have a female cop nowhere that can come fucking goddamn deal with her? How come she got to deal with a male cop in the first place? You see? So then she has to entertain these fucking scary thoughts. Has this guy got a crush on me? Is he going to do something to Vinny to take me away from Vinny? You see? You see what I'm saying? My wife and I aren't really physically attracted to each other. That's why, you know, she's had the problems adjusting to buckling down to just me that she's had. I mean, you know, as far as like she had Dylan, you know, on the side in the background. She wasn't always fucking him. I mean, she didn't fuck him nowhere near as much as I would entertain, you see. Oh, well, I go straight to worst case scenario, man. You know, every day, 3 times a day, you know, every time my back's turned. You see, it can get really cartoonish because you can get paranoid when people start doing that kind of shit. And you can become a motherfucker that's always questioning people. What'd you do? Who you texting? Where you going? You see what I'm saying? So I get up today. I didn't get no sleep because I actually laid down last night and got a little nap. And then I got up. I couldn't sleep. My wife was laying there having nightmares. Well, she was having nightmares about cops busting in and taking her away. So now she's cured all them nightmares she was having about Cody. Because, well, she was having nightmares about Cody. You see? Nightmares are dreams. Cody was in them. Because, well, she talks in her sleep, especially when she's having nightmares. So, the cops, with their bullying and what they did to her, it traumatized her worse than what a gang rape supposedly did. You see? It traumatized her worse. Because, well, these are supposed to be people you can turn to when other people do mean stuff to you. And instead, the cop decides he wants to do something mean to you. And, you know, they're such bumbling cartoon characters disguised as law enforcement in this town that fucking the prosecutor wants our phones taken, but it didn't occur to him to take Cody's phone way back when we first went and reported January. You see? So it's like, hey, wow, you didn't take his phone way back then, but you took our phone over some words I said to my wife. You know what? That's why she doesn't want to work with police anymore. She does not want to cooperate with cops at all now. It's like now she'll just keep her mouth shut and she'll stand on her right. She can stand on the fifth. She has the right not to say anything more. You see? The cop traumatized her. He was up in her face without a mask on. He was inappropriately in her apartment, him and another dude. There wasn't even a woman there. and he was in her face without a mask on. He lied to her and said she could keep her phone, which she needed, if he can just take pictures of the texts. So they went in there for her to plug the phone in and for him to take pictures of the text, but then he took her phone anyway. So he lied to her. So now the person who trusted you before you pulled off all this bullshit does not trust you or anybody that wears a fucking uniform like you and fucking hates you and your kind. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Because, well, they've been trained to handle people one way. With brute force. You comply or you might fucking die. You know? Look at the news. Police kill motherfuckers for not jumping through their hoops when they immediately demand you do it. You see? They had my wife with a bunch of police cars right out in front of our neighbors, right across from this place. They did that for meanness on purpose, to fuck with our ability to stay here. We weren't staying here anyway. There you go. We're kind of all done here. And Amber's all done with Grayling and Crawford County and all these, bullies with badges and shit. It's like, wow, you had this case for how long? You're walking around fucking goddamn fumbling the ball every step of the way. You could have had his fucking phone how long ago? Why didn't you do it? Why wasn't your prosecutor behind that? But he's behind fucking criminalizing a fucking somebody who's actually law-abiding. And I'm law-abiding for reasons. My sister's a cop. I don't want to fucking embarrass her. We have other people in our family that can do that for us. I don't want to be on the list with them. So, I do all this shit to keep my nose clean because, well, I really could just be into some shit and have a whole lot of money and have a whole lot of shit going down. All right? I could totally be living different, where I am a nuisance to law enforcement, But instead, I live like this fucking old fucking monk. And fucking, I have to interact with law enforcement because, well, a crime may have happened. And I'm not the type of person to just turn my back. I know it's my wife. I should report it anyway if it really happened. I don't know if it really happened. I was waiting to come to the police station to see. So, yeah, I bullied my wife into getting bullied yesterday. And I see, wow, by seeing how badly they treated her, I mean, they have no shame about it either. These guys had no sense of shame about having my wife out there crying, embarrassing her in front of all her neighbors and shit, treating her like she's some kind of armed criminal. Got all these cops surrounding her. It's a gang swoop, man. It's a bum rush, like a bum rush on a white girl in the neighborhood, Yeah, it's just like they surrounding her and they're going to get out of her what they want. She's going to do what they want or else. So then, he's already made the statement that, I'm going to charge you with impeding my investigation. Well, had anybody asked you to investigate, then you'd have something to work on. But, hey, I got some lawyers that are challenged every step of this bullshit. You want to play some games, boy? So it's like, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it and you might regret it once you get it. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got to be careful what you wish for. What you wish for, you might get it. Then you might regret it. So, you're going to go charge me? Well, this is going to become a nationwide news story then, maybe international, who knows? You can't report a rape in Grayling, you'll get criminalized. If you dare try to fucking stand up for your rights. If you dare try to fucking just wait a day or two for a cool-off period. Nobody even came to the police station, that's what's fucked up. Nobody came to the police station and said, I'd like to report a rape. Some intoxicated drunk dude told you about it in an email. Well, you're supposed to wait for the fucking goddamn request for your fucking goddamn service, yo. There's other things happening. In this town, there's a lot of stuff happening, and it's because of this bumbling bullshit. Easily fucking goddamn distracted from fucking what they should be doing. Like when we reported January, he should have ran straight to Cody and got his phone and fucking interrogated his ass until he gave him his two friends' names and went and got their phones too. And the prosecutor should have been right behind that. But the prosecutor's a bumbling idiot, so that's why no crimes get charged in this fucking town. They want to keep a low crime rate fucking reputation, you see? So they let criminals get away with shit up in this shit, for real, for real. And the police run around like cartoon characters, won't even do the basic job. I mean, okay, they were told 2 crime scenes, potential crime scenes. They did not go fucking do a CSI on either location in the same building. Had they done that, well, hey, wow, if they had her suck, if they had her suck their dicks, she spit the shit on the fucking floor. That's their DNA right there. If they pulled out of her and skated anywhere, that's there. And it's in 2 locations in the fucking building. So, okay, 3 months go by, you ain't done that. You ain't took phones, you ain't done shit. Motherfucker running around loose. We gotta worry his nightmares coming true, shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Bumbling shit. But when it comes to fucking wanting to fuck with a little mentally challenged woman who may have been raped, now you'll never know if she really was raped. Because, well, she ain't gonna ever admit to it now. She wants to avoid police and any interaction with police and court systems, at any cost now. You see? She's like, I'll never, ever report a crime to the police again. Never. I'm like, well, you got that right, girl. You are not obligated to report something that happened to you. Especially if those you reported to are going to fucking bully you worse and traumatize you worse. You see? So I guess even if, she's raped now, she just keep that shit secret from the police. She might tell me. And I'll be like, well, I guess I shouldn't have turned my back on you for that 2 minutes. You see what I'm saying? We just have to blame it on ourselves and take the fucking bite. Because what are we going to do? Go to the police? That's all the hillbillies laugh at this shit because it's funny. You're going to go to the police. Oh, yeah. There you go. Now you see why everybody hates cops. They won't even take care of mentally challenged people and children. You know what his response to this shit is? He wants to take her phone and see if she's been fucking with her ex-boyfriend. Look at her fucking goddamn, look at the GPS and see where the fuck she's been. See if she's fucking around with her ex-boyfriend behind my back. Well, you know what? He's not a threat. So, and he wants to see if she's fucking around with him and blaming it on Cody and his guys, this stuff, And then he stands right on my wife's front porch with 2 witnesses sitting there watching the shit inside. They turned the TV down because the shit he was saying was fucking crazy. And he's one of the last things he says is, you called Amber a vulnerable adult in your videos a couple times, right? Well, he doesn't know that's a classification to get SSI, dumbass. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. But it does mean that, hey, we're federally protected. When you do something to one of us, if we're on SSI, we're government fucking goddamn chattel, yo. You don't fuck with us. You might get federally fucked with if you do something violent to us or if you bully us. So, yeah, I've said some stuff to my wife in these cartoonish fucking rants I was doing while I was drunk, while I was so traumatized I couldn't even fucking goddamn see beyond myself. You see? So I get up today, or, I was up all night, after a couple hours sleep. But, I can't sleep, and I'm really nervous and fucked up feeling, because my wife's having weird dreams about getting taken away by cops now. Not by rapists, but cops. Mm-hmm. And that's because of the threats the cops making, because he stood on the porch. He's like, I feel like Amber hasn't been making sound decisions lately, and you called her a vulnerable adult. He's like mentioning her guardianship and shit like that, and implying, with the last thing he said. So, I'm thinking that you can't take care of her, and you can't protect her, and if you won't protect her, I will. So that just made me and Amber both look at each other. I said, see, he is crushing on you. Crushing on my wife, so he wants to get rid of me, do away with her ability to be free, then he'll be her guardian, you see? Oh, yeah, he'll lock her in a little room where she can't go nowhere while he's at work, like a little dog in a cage. Fucking goddamn make sure her phone can't fucking text nobody that he don't want her to text, shit like that. That's, dictatorial. Nobody will evolve if you treat them like that. If you keep them bound, they will just learn to live within them boundaries. They won't grow. Their mind won't grow. If you expect them to get smarter, they're not going to get smarter if you treat them stupid. You have to take risks with people. It may end up with you getting hurt or them getting hurt. You see? I was told, and even she told me, I'm just going to turn my phone off. I don't need a phone, blah, 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 because, well, she knows that she might make dumb decisions with her phone. I'm like, you're not turning your phone off. You're going to have a phone, even if you got to use mine. It's not because, of anything else, but it makes me look like a fucking dictator who, I want to keep my wife captive to me. No, I don't. If she don't want to be with me, I want her to hit the fucking road. That's where I'm at with that. You don't want to be with me? Cool. That's your decision. Go. Ain't nobody fucking put a chain on you. Ain't nobody locked you in a room. Ain't nobody threatened your guardianship. Ain't nobody threatened your freedom. I'm not like that cop. I'm not going to fucking goddamn try and get you put in an AFC home or get you a guardian because you won't do what I say. I'm not the police. I'm not a little fucking goddamn faggot who goddamn fucking my manhood is measured by fucking how much power I can exert over other people. Damn, I'm a man. Fucking, I wasn't looking for nobody when you showed up. Done been through whole lots of fucking goddess pussy. So it's like if I don't get another piece of ass the rest of my life, I'm good. I swear to God, for real. I don't care. Another bitch come along, hey, that's just what it is. It's a given. Unless I fucking lock myself in a hole somewhere, I'm gonna go out in public, and some smart bitch is gonna look at me and be like, wow, I want to hook up with him. There's something special about this motherfucker. I can feel it. I can see it in his walk. I can see it in his fucking, in his his boldness, and I can see it in his demeanor. This motherfucker's not like all these other motherfuckers around him. That's the motherfucker I want. See, when you cross paths with a smart bitch like that, the smart bitch all up over you. And ain't nobody, while she's up on you, ain't nobody can touch that bitch. She won't let nobody else touch it, for real. She's all about you. You see it? Because she wants you to be all about her. And she's smart enough to realize it's reciprocal. What she gives out is what she going to get back. So, I had a fucking rough night of no sleep after not having sleep for fucking 3 fucking days. I'm sleep deprived and pissed off. I've been drunk. I couldn't eat, shit like that, I was drunk when I emailed the cop. I didn't know it was going to turn into this. For real, I didn't know motherfucker would come showing up. I thought maybe he'd call or email back or something. Then we could talk about a day that we could come to the police station, which would give Amber time to fucking ascertain, what the truth is. Because sometimes it takes a while to get to it, because, well, her dreams they're real to her until she realizes they weren't. And now she's cured of the Cody nightmares, the rape nightmares, because now she has nightmares about police. The motherfuckers that she went to for help. Now she's scared of them more than she is a rapist. She'd run and jump in a car with Cody before she would with a cop. Rightfully so. She knows what's going to happen with Cody. He's just going to get some ass and drop her off. What's fucking goddamn the cop going to do? He going to challenge her ability to be free, her ability to be with her husband. He implied that I can't take care of my wife or protect her from herself, that she can easily outsmart me and go get raped. And then he implied that, well, if she consented to some shit, she's still fucked. He doesn't think it's a good decision. Well, that's not your place to make. You're not a psychiatrist, are you, buddy? You don't make that decision. Good goddamn thing, huh? How many fucking goddamn mentally challenged women would you have locked in a hole somewhere? You get to be the guy that comes to the AFC home and takes them out for an ice cream. Uh-huh. Yeah. They give them a nice little lollipop and shit. Yeah, we see what your game is. You get to be the rescuer from the boredom of the AFC home. So suddenly you're an attractive man to her. You had to get it like that? You know how I got it? I was just being me, minding my own motherfucking business. And she just popped into my life. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I saw myself through new eyes yesterday. When I was like, wow, I'm a bully just like them guys. Just like fucking Cody and his buddies. I'm just a bully who would do this to her, And I felt really bad. It made me feel obligated, to try and make it up to her. You see? Stand up for her. Even though I know that, hey, wow, the cop's going to come back with, oh, yeah, she was doing this and she was doing that. Cody was there, la, 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 la. But since the way she did it and the way she handled it, it was probably consensual. It's just going to be like a big old gloat fest while he's fucking trying to charge me for impeding what was not even supposed to be an investigation yet. Nobody asked him to investigate shit. She didn't ask him to investigate. He asked her if she'd go to the hospital and get the exam. Well, hey, I already gave you this much time before I've eaten breakfast. I haven't used the bathroom yet, yo. You're hauling me out to go fucking goddamn talking cars and shit without my husband there? She don't like to talk to police without me there. She knows she needs a witness, and she has a right to have a witness there. Everybody does. Did you know that? No cop has the right to lead you off to talk to you by yourself. No cop has that right. They don't know the law if they think they can do that. It's not how it works. You see, they got cameras going. That don't mean shit. Motherfuckers can do shit with the camera going. They can divert the way the camera's pointing while they're doing it. Or they can even doctor the footage or fucking turn it off for a minute. Just put it on pause. So it's not even recording while they're doing their lewd, fucked up shit. See, why do you got to take people off, especially a woman, by herself? You're a man. Yeah. Oh, well, there's cameras going. That don't fucking matter. What you want her to say? She's half a fucking asleep. Fucking goddamn, you seen her crawl out of bed. So, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I texted Lisa. They took our phones, but I borrowed an old phone from Lisa that wasn't being used, and Amber put an app in it that if there's Wi-Fi close by that you can access with the phone, the app will let you text and call people via that Wi-Fi service. You see? So we have a phone that if we're by Wi-Fi that we can get into, then we can still communicate with people. So I texted Lisa to see if she'd mind if we went over to her house to take a nap, because I just needed to sleep. Then I took my blood pressure. And I'm going to tell you this, and there's going to be people that won't believe it. I mean, you know, they'd be like, bullshit. But my blood pressure was for real. 224 over 109 this morning with a heart rate of 105. My chest is pounding. It's been pounding all day. I told the cop yesterday when I got in the car after he made me argue with him to get to go with my wife so she wouldn't be so uncomfortable about shit. They're not going to get a good fucking interview with her doing it like that. You know? She's not going to tell you shit. She's going to be too worried about fucking getting back home to me. You see? If I'm right outside, you might get something from her if there's something to get. But you're not going to get it being a fucking dickhead who takes her miles away from her husband. She was just traumatized supposedly in January, so the logical thing to think that she is clingy to her husband now. Maybe I shouldn't step away from this motherfucker, be like the dog. Protect me from the mother dogs. You see? I'm on Sty Quivicino. I'm right here. You see what I'm saying? So she's been clingy like that, like, hey, maybe something did happen, or maybe, you know, she's looking back on it and she's realizing how traumatizing it was even to herself, you know, and she didn't realize it while she was doing it. I don't know. You know, you can bruise your own spirit. You can literally beat your own spirit half to death, where you're bruised and you're not as functional as you were. Just like lies can slow your brain down, because you're always lying, so the truth just doesn't pop to your head really quick. Your brain gets this thing where it starts filtering shit before it will process it. You see what I'm saying? It literally, to be a liar, makes you fucking slow-minded. Imagine how many fucking people who lie, who are stupid, who would just, you know, get smart within a few years if they just would train themselves to always tell the truth. That's why I'm so quick-witted. I'm just truthful. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you the truth. You don't like the truth? Too bad. And cops, I'm going to take your phone because I think you texted your wife, bibbity blah, and told her to not participate in this investigation. No, I didn't. I told her to tell you to take us home. That's what I told her. We can do it another day. I didn't say we can't. But she needs another day. She needs time. We haven't ate. Yeah, you know, I was trying to fry some bacon when they decided they got to rush her from the hospital where she spent an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and they didn't do shit. They didn't even do a physical exam. They just had her sit around in a goddamn room. So they still had to take her to Roscommon to do the goddamn exam. Well, that should have fucking been ascertained in the first 20 minutes that she was in the hospital. And, you know, then fucking shit could have it would have been totally different. She already invested 2 hours of her day. She hadn't even been able to go pee or, you know, wash her face, brush her teeth. Nothing, man. She had to, like John Wayne, just jump out the fucking sleeping bag into the saddle, yo, for this cop who had no consideration for her feelings or her humanity. Didn't want to treat her humanely. She's just chattel. You know, here's a case I can work today. Well, she already gave you a case you won't work. 3 perps. You won't take their phones, nothing. So my blood pressure was super high, so I texted Lisa because I just knew I needed to get away from the energy of this place. She said, yeah, come over and sleep in the office. She's got a big, giant bed in there, like a king size, queen size, some shit. Big, comfortable bed now. Not like the little bed I had in there when it was the music lab. So we went over there to take a nap. so we could actually sleep for a few hours. Felt good to sleep, yo. Came back here and only got a couple hours sleep. And when we got back, there was just tons of neighbors hanging out like they were when Amber was across the street. Like, public enemy #1 and shit. Just tons of cops there. Oh, dear God. We got this mentally challenged woman armed with a phone. Oh, no. Well, where's our guns? You see? And they're all up on her with no masks on. The state cop had his mask on. Okay? But as you can see by the previous footage, the cop who perpetuated all this wants to criminalize us, has a bumbling fucking cartoon prosecutor who would say, take our phones, when they still haven't taken the rapist's phones. Ain't that some shit? Wow, take the victim's phones. It's like, hey, we shouldn't want to participate in any fucking further investigation anyway, since you can't do the first one. It's overburdening you with undone work. Fucking cases that will stay open or get closed without being fucking goddamn any criminals being dealt with. So there you go. Just like the other rapes in this town. For real. They don't ever bust the rapist. But they'll sure put the victim to the ringer, won't they? That's what happened to that girl that was on the news that she got raped up there by the airfield. She got put through the ringer by the fucking cops. I think she just decided not to participate in the fucking goddamn investigation after that. So they never caught the guy because, well, they treated her so fucked up. I mean, look at how they treated Amber. Somehow she's a criminal and she's got to go with them right now. You better go right now. We're telling you to go right now. God damn it, you're a goddamn criminal for getting fucking raped, motherfucker. How dare you get raped on my motherfucking beat? I'm trying to keep the crime rates down. I ain't doing nothing to fucking stop crime. And that's why the criminals are running amok up in this town, for real. Because they want that happy town look. When people look at the crime ratings and shit, oh, they have a low crime rating, dear. Let's move there. Yeah. And watch your autistic kid get fucking fucked in its ass. Yeah, stupid. Because, well, they're lying and grailing, okay? They're lying about the fucking goddamn crime rate. The reason the fucking crime rate is so low is because the cops won't do shit to criminals. They will fuck with people like fucking Amber and me, though. You see? We didn't ask him to even come to the goddamn house, so I just don't understand why he felt like he had to intrude on our life that day. Why he couldn't just call me first. Why we couldn't talk a little bit first. He just wanted to get to my wife and lead her off away from me, like, just like the rapist did, supposedly. I mean, if it happened the way Amber said, then yeah, they just let her off away from me. We're going to take you over here and do this with you. So it ain't sex, but it's just as bad. You're going to take my wife and apply your agenda to her life today. We had stuff we were going to do. Now we can't do it. She had a fucking 1 o'clock fucking appointment with her therapist. She can't even talk to her therapist now because he's got her phone. She doesn't want to let the therapist know that she doesn't have her phone, so she doesn't want to call her from this fucking from this text app phone, which has a different number. Because, well, then, hey, and plus her fucking therapist, she'll make a fucking meeting with you, and if you don't make the meeting, it might take you a while to get another one. So now we got a big old gossip circle happening. I mean, they'll stand out there if we're outside. They'll stand out there together and talk their shit about us, because the shit with the police and, with Cody and. I mean, it started off with Dylan. You know what? Dylan turned out to be the least of the threats. Ain't that what's weird? He's supposedly such a big fucking badass. No, he's not. He's just a little kid, man. And I think he's mentally challenged.
Yes.
So it's like, dude, he's not even a threat to me. I'm not the kind of person I would give a fuck. I mean, if he didn't have an STI and shit. You know what I'm saying? And if a bitch can own up to it, if she could just own up to it instead of she got to be a sneaky snake about it. I mean, the fact you got to sneak and keep secrets with him, that makes me not want to let you even talk to him, you see? Because, well, you want to be closer to him than to me. The secret is supposed to be between us. I know that you and him are doing something, but he don't know I know. You see what I'm saying? Just like it's been with other women I was with. Play it off to the dude like they're sneaking around, but really, I know what's happening. She talked to me about it before she went and did it. So she's actually closer to me than she is to him, even though he thinks that she's closer to him. You see what I'm saying? And then eventually she gets that fucking gloat. She gets that victory where he thinks he's got power over her. He's got her dick whipped. She keeps coming to fuck him, right? Because she might have fucked him a couple times. So then it's like, oh, he thinks he's got power over her, so he can just dictate, you know, when he gonna get it or how it's gonna happen or what's gonna happen, right? Or, you know, some guys even act like, oh, well, I'll just tell your husband, you see? You know, because she won't do what I want you to do. I'll tell him what you've been doing, you know, or I'll have somebody else tell him, right? You see? Some motherfuckers are fucked up like that. You'll give them good shit and they'll reward you evil for good. You know, like a motherfucker will put kitchen utensils in your vagina after you fucking goddamn came and gave him your body. He wants to misuse it, put his dick in your butt without lubricating your butt, you know? Not even find out if you had an enema lately. Not even ask that shit. Don't give a fuck, all right? Cares about nothing but herself. Well, eventually a woman who stays closer to her man than she is to her lovers, she gets that gloat when she wants to kick that lover to the curb. She can be like, Vinny's known the whole time, okay? And Vinny decided it's time for you and me to stop seeing each other. Or you know what? Vinny's known the whole time and I decided I like him better. You know, lots of different shit. But the giggles is so great when the bitch can giggle at the motherfucker. You thought me and you had something? I was just using you as a fucking living human-sized dildo, yo. Fucking, I have Vinny at home. I'd never fucking actually entertained the thought of running away with somebody unless my childhood sweetheart from when I was 15 years old shows up. You see? Which, you know, that's what happened with my ex. But I prayed for that. I also prayed for Amber to get a guy that she could love more than she loves me. She could be faithful to and stuff. She could make good decisions with, you see? And I don't know, this cop wanting to criminalize her and take away her liberty, that's really playing on my fucking, on my health because it's keeping me stressed out. You know, I fought hard to get this kid into this place. I had to fight them for 3 months to get her here. And then they just go willy-nilly hire a guy without even doing a basic Google background check. I mean, his shit would have came up that he's on active probation. So you don't want to give that guy fucking authority in a setting like this, and you don't want to give him keys. He might steal shit. He might sit around watching to see old people get on the bus and then go to their apartment and go through their checks, take one of the checks from the back of the book, so they won't even know the check was stolen until too late. Get their fucking banking information and, you know, remotely from a laptop or a computer, steal some money from their account or just buy shit on their credit card, you see? So it's like they hired somebody that, you know, was on probation for, you know, that kind of shit. You know, a criminal. He's an active felon. And they turned him loose in this place to run amok. Full authority as a manager. Well, then he wants to use that authority to trick people into submitting to him and giving him what he wants, you see? Doesn't have no sense of shame about it that, hey, if I could trick this person into doing this, then maybe I shouldn't do anything with this person, you know? See what I'm saying? So, I seen myself through new eyes and I cut back on my drinking. I haven't been drinking today. I was probably going to drink, you know, when I headed out for a walk with the dog a little while ago. I took enough money that I could buy a couple beers if I wanted to. By beers, I mean, you know, the big, tall Mike Harder's lemonades in the can, the big, giant can. Yeah, I'll buy a couple of those and drink them, and it's just like drinking, you know, some vodka or something. And you can drink them for longer and actually utilize them as a beverage, where you can't with vodka. You're just doing shots or putting it in coffee, which that's a beverage. So I realized that I need to cut back on my drinking or just stop altogether, make it an occasional thing, because I could easily be manipulated or provoked into joining the bullies to, you know, further mentally damage my mentally challenged wife. And you see, and I can't really use any words like vulnerable, adult, mentally challenged or anything like that because, well, this cop wants to use my words and her decisions which everybody fucks up. Do you know that women in their 20s, that's when they fuck all the wrong dudes for all the wrong reasons? So if you're hooking up with a bitch in her 20s, chances are she's gonna fuck around on you at least once. At least once, okay? She's in her 20s. And that's when all women know. That's when women fuck all the wrong dudes for all the wrong reasons. So, wow, she actually acts out like other women her age, but she's not making good decisions. Why, are you going to go take guardianship and freedom from all the other women in their 20s who do the same shit? Huh? Just because a rape came up, across your desk? See, now we can't get to the bottom of whether or not it was a rape because, well, the cop got distracted with the angle. He's going to fucking goddamn fuck with Amber's life and her freedom, try and take her away from her husband and shit. You see? So it's like, he's not going to succeed. She's my wife. She's not endangered. If it proves by the GPS that Cody wasn't even here on the 25th of April, then, that kind of proves that it was a nightmare. You see what I'm saying? And, if it does show he was here, well, then that's a whole nother issue altogether. It'll make it harder to fight for her freedom if she doesn't, just come off all the truth with me so that I know all the angles that the cop can use when he gets the information about what she did. You see? So, Amber's at this crossroads in her life, where it's like she has to decide she's going to depart from the deception completely, at least with one person that she's leagued with that always gets the truth, no matter how ugly it is, no matter how bad she thinks it'll hurt him. She still got to tell him, because if he doesn't know, then somebody can use what they find out about her in a uncomely fashion. Like this cop wanting to attack her freedom because she's fucked up a few times since she's been with me and a couple things happened to her. That's just wrong. All right. That's abuse of authority, and it's just, why would you even make that your agenda? There's crime happening. Oh yeah, I forgot. We want to pass the perception that there's no crime here in Grayling. There's lots of crime here in Grayling. They're dealing dope. I'm looking down at projects right now where 3 different fucking apartments are dealing dope. One of them's dealing heroin, the other one's dealing crack, and the other one's dealing meth. Yeah, and the traffic's in and out of there all day and all night. Motherfuckers coming to get dope. The other project's down on the fucking main drag, next to the main drag, Madison, same deal, yo. Fucking lots of fucking dope happening up in there. You see, it's everywhere in this town. This town is becoming dope riddled because they want to pass the perception that there's nothing happening here, and they don't want to fight crime. They don't want to do anything to the criminals, but they will fuck with you as a law-abiding citizen. If you dare fuck up and cross the line, they're going to be there to fucking goddamn grab your foot from the other side of that line and yank you over. You see? I've kept my nose clean because, man, I didn't want my sister to be embarrassed by my behavior. I'm too old to be embarrassing my little sister. You see? I don't do any of the shit that other people do in my position. I haven't done anything. All I did was try to stand up for somebody that shouldn't even have been pulled into what she was pulled into yesterday. It shouldn't even have happened to her. I came into the realization of that when we got down to the goddamn place, and when we were on our way to the place. It's like, okay, she needs to tell him to take us home. She cannot go in here and say anything to these guys. I don't even know what she said. She didn't say it in front of me this time, so I don't know what she said. So she can't go in there and say nothing to these guys. Because, well, it could have been fucking a nightmare. It could have been nothing at all. And it could have just all been my paranoia and my, being a little bit too intoxicated and feeling too emasculated. Oh, my big old manhood got attacked again, bibbity blah. Well, here's the thing. Was Cody fucking stupid enough to come up to a door where everybody has been looking at his Otis page? Where there's old people who would call the cops on him because he ain't supposed to be on the property? You see? Is he dumb enough to come up onto my patio between 2 fucking neighbors who are up all night sitting there looking outside? Is he dumb enough to fuck a fucking mentally challenged woman on her own patio when her husband could come out of the bedroom and look over and see him? You see? Is he dumb enough with the camera running? Because I don't think the guy is smart enough to be able to backdoor my camera and delete just 15 minutes of footage. You see? That would have to be something he stopped the camera for a minute or something else. And the lights on the back of the camera tell you what mode it's in. So if somebody stops it and then starts to back up, the lights are going to change. It's going to start blinking red. You see? So, you know, he's not as smart as he thinks he is if he was doing that. Because I could always tell when my camera got backdoored. The lights changed. So now we're done with this town, yo. We're not safe here. Because stuff happened to my wife, we're criminalized, and my wife's freedom that she had to fight for. She had to fight for guardianship over herself. She had to convince people that she could do it. Her liberty is being threatened by somebody who is supposed to be threatening the liberty of someone else so that he can't be raping people. But he's so distracted with the thought of getting a fucking charge against me for sending a text to my wife that I shouldn't have had to send because we shouldn't have been in the goddamn car anyway. It should have waited like we both wanted to do. And I talked to y'all in previous videos about how she called me from the hospital, kind of creeped out. Didn't want to do any of it. She didn't want to go to the hospital. She looked at me fucking pleadingly. Please don't let this fucking cop take me off to the hospital. You see? She said it with her face and with her eyes. Please don't fucking make me do this shit. So, I bullied her into it. And I realized that when I saw these cops out there fucking criminalizing us, fucking with her like she's the criminal. Fucking embarrassing her in front of her fucking neighbors. You see? Like the shit that's happened ain't already embarrassing enough. It ain't embarrassing enough the police pull in here fucking goddamn every fucking month over us. That's embarrassing shit. We're fucking, it's like we're the problem child of the goddamn town and shit. The police are always here.
I'm good.
So then I see myself as this bully, like the police and like Cody and his buddies, you know. And it like totally changed my perspective about everything. I'm like, this cop's gonna come at me with she did this and she did that. I'm gonna be ready for it and I ain't gonna give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she consensually ran down to Cody's and fucked him. She just couldn't wait for the nighttime to come. Well, you know what? I'm past that now. Fuck that. There you go. Because, well, that shit literally provoked me and motivated me to be somebody that I'm not. The way I've been acting, my wife and I have argued a lot via text, because I get drunk and I don't want to, like, say it, so I'll text it. And, a lot of times when I text my wife some shit, I'll go grab whatever phone she's using, because I'll text her at night, and I'll just look at the text so that she doesn't look at it. She doesn't realize she got the text. You see? She won't see it if she doesn't look for it. So it's like, that's how, and then when she's got my phone and she's texting me some fucked up shit right behind something like that she didn't even see, because, well, it's not one-sided, okay? And it's not like I'm just bitching at some kid because she's fucking around on me. That ain't it either. She has issues too. But, if two people can get past each other's issues and work through them, well, then, that's what's important. Can they work through them? Can you work through the problems? Can you get to the other end of it, the other side of it, to where those problems are no longer there? There's no longer the worry that fucking, something like this is going to be happening again. You see? There's trust. You can fucking trust somebody. When you ask them a question, they can quickly give you the answer because, well, fucking they tell the truth all the time. And suddenly their brain got smart. And they started talking smarter and faster, too. You see? You can tell when somebody's fucking goddamn truthful, man. Because they don't have to think up an answer. It's just already there because it's the truth. You see? And a lot of people don't realize that. So now we have to try and get away from this town, away from all the bullies. I'm not a bully. I'm actually going to fight against the bullies. I don't want, even though I should be all for it if, she did this shit consensually, bibbity blah, I should feel like attack her freedom, But you know what? I mean, by normal dude standards, how normal guys are. Oh, they're machismo got attacked. They got emasculated. No, I was so macho before she did that. Now look how she belittled me compared to that guy. See it from a different perspective. Maybe it's something wrong with her and it ain't got nothing to do with you. Did the other bitches do it too? Is that how they treated you? Then it might be something to do with you. But it might just be her. And maybe you just need to, either depart from it or learn to deal with it until, you can help her work past it. Because, you might be able to help somebody work past some dumb shit they're doing, You can work them past it with other things that are just as rewarding. You see what I'm saying? Give them other activities to do besides just that. Now, in this kid's case, she don't got a lot. She didn't have nobody to teach her how to drive. She didn't have nobody to teach her like she had the potential to actually grow or evolve or become smarter. In her rite of passage years, 14 to 16, 13, whatever. Some of us get taught how to drive really young. I knew how to drive at 10 years old. I knew how to drive a stick. You drove it pretty good, too. But, when you got nobody there to treat you like you're growing during those rite of passage years, hey, you're supposed to have somebody that loves you and wants to teach you how to drive. Because all the other kids know how to drive. You don't want your daughter to not know how to drive. That makes her vulnerable. A lot of ways. I mean, she needs the independence of that. If she's got a car and a license, she can drive away from any situation. If a dude's abusing her, she can jump in her car and drive away. You see? Some people just regarded, if she had a license, she'd just be wearing out her back seat. So, yeah, they disregard people and don't give them credit that they might be able to grow. Well, I don't think that Amber is incapable of growing. If I did, I would have gave up a long time ago. And I don't think that even if she did this shit consensually, that she deserves to have her guardianship fucking attacked. You see? She's kind of in a position now where she just can't win in this guy's eyes. From the way he worded it. She's making bad decisions that are endangering herself. Well, you just took her phone. That endangered her. Yeah, that endangered her and traumatized her. I never took her phone from her, even though I fucking had reason to. All right? I'm the fucking offended party, if anybody is, if she consented. And if she consented, well, that's not your business. If it's her ex-boyfriend and she fucked him, that's between her and me. That's a fucking hurdle we have to get over. Not fucking, there's no third party involved in this. The third party is already the dude she fucked. And
I was with him for 2 years.
Yeah, she was with the guy for 2 years. She's gonna fuck up a few times for him. I'm done with letting her fuck up for him. I'm all done with that. She knows I am too. But the shit in January raped and fucked and tortured that dude right out of her emotionally. You see, where she didn't want him she didn't want him like that anymore. It made her where she just sees him as like a friend, even though he wasn't a good friend to her and he would never be. He doesn't care about her, He cares about her in the way that, okay, he can have a woman, a girlfriend, and he's got her money. She'll take care of him, you see? That's how he thinks of her. It's unfortunate for him because she actually loves him. If he just reciprocate that, they could have a good relationship. If he go get, some antibiotics or some penicillin or something for whatever that shit is he's got. And wash once in a while. Maybe shave them pubes, man. Shit like that. Do the shit that another dude would do for her. You see? And then maybe you'll fucking be in the running against the other dude. Instead of always being the same thing. Every time she comes back to you, you haven't evolved, you haven't grown. You didn't fucking learn to shave your pubes. You didn't learn to take a shower. You didn't change your goddamn clothes. You smell like a fucking hobo. You look like one, She looks at you, feels sorry for you, wants to give you a fucking pity fuck, because surely to God, nobody's fucking you, right? You see? And she used to love you and shit. And then you take it like, oh, she's running back to you. No, she ain't, fool. She just felt sorry for you. She threw a fucking goddamn $20 bill in your fucking goddamn cup, yo. Gave you a little quick $20 piece of pussy and fucking ran back home to a real man. You see? It's like, you know, when you see shit like that, you just change the perspective of how you're looking at it. Instead of looking at it from an injured party perspective, you look at it from the other side of the rock. You can almost laugh at some of this shit, right? I mean, for real. Because this guy is younger than her, but he's like a violent little, spoiled little white devil child in a lot of ways. You see? He hasn't grown out of that shit yet. And he hasn't realized that all this time he's wasted. It's been 7 months. Fuck, by now he could fucking goddamn have a good job. He could have a nice little apartment going. He'd probably even fucking have a license and a car by now. Who knows? You see? What's his agenda? You're going to sit here and wait for Amber to come back to you? That's what you're going to do with the rest of your life? What if she never comes back because he's waiting for you to fucking evolve and change? You see? What if she's just waiting to see a change in you before she even considered the option of coming back to you? You see what I'm saying? She wants to go see, and she wants to show you a little bit of what she done. You know, she fucking goddamn cleaned herself up. It's like shit, she's, you know, shaved up, fucking nice smelling, you know, all that shit, douches, all the good shit. Could be that primo piece of ass for you, yo. Fucking, you know, must be desirable. I can't fucking walk down the hall without fucking motherfuckers jumping on it. So there you go. I mean, you see? You just ain't seeing shit right, boy. And then, you know, I teased you in the text. I'm sorry about that. Because, well, you know, I've just been mean-spirited lately. And, you know, I don't mean to be, and I've been drinking a lot, which, you know, that makes me unable to filter it at all. So I decided I don't want to be a bully anymore. Because I bullied my wife into fucking filing police reports against people. I probably shouldn't even have worried about January. I should have just took it on the chin and fucking kept walking. Because it didn't do any good. All it did was traumatize Amber back when she had to go do the interview. That was all traumatizing to her. You know, fucking take her off in a room without me and talk to her and interrogate her. It's not an interview. It's a fucking interrogation, yo. And they make the fucking victims of rape feel like they're fucking making up a story so bad that fucking they become convinced that maybe they did consent. Maybe it wasn't rape. You see what I'm saying? They confuse the rape victim in their most vulnerable moments when they're trying to fucking goddamn get justice, when they're trying to get help. You see? So it's really hard to face it, but I am, and you know I'm changing my perspective and how I react to shit. You know, you can have a mentality. I lived like this, so I know you can refuse to react to external motivation and external factors. Like if somebody fucks around on you, you don't have to be one of them dudes that reacts to it. You can just refuse to react. Somebody makes fun of you, you can just refuse to react. You see? And by refusing to react, you're robbing the person who inspired the reaction or the problem. You see what I'm saying? You're robbing it of the power. You see, because you won't react to it. See what I'm saying? I lived like that for years, so I know that I could do it again. Where it's like, hey, I don't even have to react to that. Fuck that. You know, just giggle it off and wave my hand. All right, yeah. You see? I got no reaction to that, baby, because I ain't even going to go there. Because once you start reacting, you start fucking traveling down that fucking spiral staircase to fucking hell, yo. For real. You just get lower and lower the more you react. So you have to get to where you won't react. You see? My concern now is for the safety and the freedom and well-being of my wife. That she not have her freedom taken from her in any way. That she not have her ability to fucking take care of herself challenged in any way. All right? Because, well, with Dylan, she didn't really do anything wrong compared to the Cody shit. Come on now. All right? Come on now. If you want to compare them, you're looking at a grape and a goddamn fucking watermelon. All right? Dylan's the grape. He's harmless. The dude is not fucking going to do shit to me. And Amber could fucking kick his ass if she just wanted to. She probably just don't want to hit him. But he's not big enough to overpower Amber. She's heavier than him. She could fucking throw him on the ground and fucking lay on his head and smother him. You know? For real. It's like, the boy is not all that. He's not no big, tough dude. He's not no threat. He's a skinny little stick, man. If you ever saw him, you'd be like, that's Dylan? That's the dude everybody's so scared of? Oh, my God. What'd he do, man? You gotta wonder what the fuck did he do? I mean, he slapped Amber a time or two or some shit? Well, you know, you never know. Maybe they were... Maybe if she wanted it, you know, I mean, because, well, she doesn't have to stay with a motherfucker who do that in front of somebody. I mean, if you want somebody to hit you, yeah, you know, you can have them hit you in private and shit, and ain't nobody else is seeing it, and it's not a traumatizing thing, and it's something that you wanted to happen. You see? Some people want shit to happen, and they don't care where they make you do it. They'll make you slap them around in public. You see? That's why I'm not that type of person. I won't hit people. That, and if I slip, you know, because I used to be a boxer, man, I actually can be physically dangerous. So, you know, I don't want to, like, use a weapon on somebody, you know, and hurt them. You know, I don't really ever want to have to fight anybody or end up in any kind of violent situation. That's really what I hope to avoid, because violence negatively affects me. I have, like... a reaction to it where I shake, my blood pressure goes up, and for days I'm just traumatized, you know, that, you know, even if like, you know, I won, or even if it was just like, you know, I got provoked into saying a bunch of mean shit, you see, that's violent to me, and you know, I have a reaction to it where it takes me a long time to come back to normal. I'm like in a fugue state, and I'm constantly thinking about the violence and, you know, how I got provoked to do things that I probably wouldn't have done. So I'm in this position now where I've come back up onto my mountaintop, and I'm looking down at all the dumb shit I did while I was down there. Because I was wandering around fucking acting like a dumbass. Oh, I'm so broken by this. Well, fuck. Maybe fucking goddamn you ain't broken at all. Maybe you're just stronger now. Motherfuckers goddamn hammered away at your fucking armor. They thought they found a chink. And it turned out that the chink is actually the strongest part of the armor, you know? So they hammered away at something and they just helped fix it. By hammering on it, they fucking closed the chink up. There you go. Because, well, you know, I actually have hope that my marriage could be salvaged. I actually have that hope. That Amber and I could stay together, that she could develop this, you know, passion for me and desire for me, you see, and then she'll be fulfilled. She'll be totally happy because she's got an awesome husband. You see what I'm saying? I have hope for that she can reach that plateau within herself, because, well, it's a great plateau to be in when you're with somebody that you love and you wouldn't fuck around on them, because, well, they're the shit. They're the top shit to you. They're the best you could hope to do to ever do, you know. They're that. They're all that. You know, she might not reach that plateau. If she can't, well, she'll go on with her life, I'm sure, and fucking somebody else will come along who, you know, she will be that, see me like that, get up on that plateau with me, where, hey, we both, I ain't doing nothing with nobody without you, and you ain't doing nothing with nobody without me. We're good. You ain't communicating with people behind my back. You know, making me look smaller than them. This is so good. What we got is so good and tight, girl. I just love the fuck out of you. You see what I'm saying? You know, that can come back into my life. You know? I'm not looking for it. I don't care to find it. I didn't care to find any of this. And here I might be getting criminalized, and my little sister's going to fucking see it. That I got charged with some dumb-ass shit. You see? And that's what really, it just crawls up my ass so bad that this cop would even fucking goddamn approach that angle with my phone, and he still didn't have the fucking goddamn perpetrator's phones. It's like, you're going to take my phones first? Your prosecutor didn't think to fucking have you go take some phones? I kind of almost told you in so many words, you need to go get his phone. He kept the lights on. He filmed it. He may have been dumb enough to film it with his phone. You never know. He may have been dumb enough to dump some files into his phone to mail them out or to upload them. Do you see? If you can really find out everything he put up in it, you might find some shit. You might get to the bottom of shit. You might see a video of him and Amber together and realize, okay, that's consensual. What she's doing with him is consensual. She did not come down here because he made her. You know, because you can tell when they're having sex if she's enjoying it or if fucking she's just giving it up. You see what I'm saying? And if it's consensual, then there you go. There's no case. Right? Not those offenses. We don't know what happened in the office. That might have been real. We don't know. We have no way of knowing at this point. Because people are liars, and they won't tell the truth about what they do. That don't mean you should fucking goddamn lock them up or tell them that they're not mentally capable to take care of themselves, that they should have a guardian because, they lie a little bit and they have a problem with telling people the truth about the shit they do because, well, it kind of makes them feel dirty that they did it.
Exactly.
You see? So I don't know. The cop's probably going to get a big old gloat when he sees the video footage of my wife actually enjoying being with Cody. You see? Who knows? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know what he's going to see when he sees it, but I do know that if you know, Cody's phone was the one that was used for this shit, then there's going to be something. You see what I'm saying? Because he kept the lights on. He didn't keep the lights on just to look at her while he fucked her. He kept the lights on because it was an entertaining thing for an audience somewhere. You see? Him disenfranchising and exploiting somebody who is mentally challenged. You see? It's a sport now, man, to do evil shit to retarded people, for real. And even the cops can run on it, man. You know, look at them. Amber's got somebody that will protect her. That will, if she'll just work with me, fucking, there can't nobody get to her, so they can't do nothing to her. You see what I'm saying? When you take her away from me, she's right back to what she was. You know that people like her do get raped in AFC homes? Yeah, by the staff and by other fucking people in the home. Yeah, so what are you going to do? Go take her from this rape land to another rape land? What plans do you got with your big mission to, quote-unquote, help Amber, right? Because that's not helping her, taking her from me, fucking with her goddamn freedom. She realizes she's fucked up, that she has fucked up. That's how I meant it to be received, that she has fucked up. She realizes that she's done that. Now she, you know, she should have a grace period of time to, is she going to fucking, you know, buck up and stop acting like that, or is she going to continue to be self-destructive? Do you see? Mm-hmm. So, you know, my perspective has changed on shit. I don't really give a fuck now. It's like, you know, I think she's been punished enough with all this bullying, this recent bullying, this non-sexual bullying, you see? And I don't want to be one of them guys who's doing that. I wouldn't go beat Dylan's ass, even though fucking I should. You see what I'm saying? I don't want him to know that, because I might slip. You know, if he did find out I wouldn't do that, he might cross the line, and then I'd have to beat his ass, you see? So it's like, yeah, it's best not to let people know that you don't want to beat their ass, because sometimes they'll force you to do it once they find that out. All right, y'all, my battery's going dead. I've been talking to you for a long fucking time. But I'm hoping to fucking get my wife and me up out of this fucking town soon and away from these monsters, man, because, well, as it turns out, even the police turned into monsters. And that really breaks my heart because my sister's a cop. So I really thought that, you know, hey, wow, the way to handle this is with the police. I didn't know it could turn into this.